Hello everyone, welcome back to this very important video as we are talking the coastal storm has developed and we are seeing trends that this coastal storm may get slung right into the heart of New Jersey and the Jersey Shore, bringing damaging winds, storm surge, king tides, destroying boardwalks entirely. Guys, if you are on the Jersey Shore, you need to evacuate potentially. I'm not kidding. These waves are potentially going to be historic, guys. I mean, we're talking dangerous impacts out of the Jersey Shore. Right now, we were talking about yesterday how, what the heck? Why is the European trending all of a sudden away from the storm? No, it's not the idea now. And I think at this point, the Jersey Shore needs to be ready for this thing to be at its peak, or it could be even stronger than forecasted. We're expecting 5 to 8 feet of storm surge, 17 to 20 foot waves absolutely whiplashing the coast of New Jersey, the hardest hit into New Jersey, and the winds aren't going to be all that great as well. We're talking 20, 30 mile an hour winds sustained here in East Brunswick, and then talking down to the shore, we may have 30 to 40 plus mile an hour winds sustained. And then the gusts, dude, they're going to be even worse than that. So we're going to break down the impacts for you guys today, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a major coastal storm producing power outages, widespread tree damage, heavy rainfall, maybe some convective lightning and thunderstorms when we get that low pressure to come closer. We'll see what happens, but guys, you need to start preparing now. This is not a joke. We are in the stages where Governor Murphy has issued a state of emergency for New Jersey because he knows that this storm could be business, and we are talking about that potential here. All right, we're going to get into these impacts right away. Okay, so the European today, major coastal low down in South Carolina. I mean, it is producing lots of heavy rain and some isolated thunderstorms as well in some of these bands. Really just whiplashing the Carolina coast right now. Very gusty conditions, but that's not as gusty as it will be tonight. And then, especially as we get into tomorrow, these winds will just be howling with this coastal system. So, really, if you heed any warnings about high wind warnings or anything about evacuation alerts, you need to listen to them because, unfortunately, we are talking about a situation where parts of New Jersey could get evacuated. Yes, this is very scary here, as the models from what we were looking at yesterday, I thought, oh, wow, maybe this won't turn out into anything, I was thinking, I was being fooled by the models that they were saying, oh, maybe this coastal storm won't hit New Jersey. Maybe this thing will go out to sea. Oh, no, we were wrong. This thing could be turning back. It can literally get pulled into this low pressure now. And what we're talking about here now is all that low pressure signifies that this could get pulled west and literally slam right into Long Island, right into New Jersey shores, and right into the heart of New Jersey. And this is a scenario where this setup by far has been the most wackiest trendsetter ever. Because yesterday, believe it or not, the European showed a tenth of an inch from 5 to 6 inches across the Jersey Shore, a tenth of an inch in Tom's River, and it trended back to 2 inches. So it's been all over the place. The models, I don't know, because we can't rely at this point, and we just have to wait to see what happens. But I think this is going to be a very bad event that will happen, and I don't see no reason why it won't. So let's get into the Carolinas here for the Southeast. Major low pressure starting to really take shape. By the time we get into 11 p.m., a 994 low pressure system absolutely slamming the North Carolina and South Carolina coast with heavy rain, wind, lightning, convective activity with those reds. Really just absolutely slamming the Carolinas with very, very high winds. This just continues to go closer to the Carolinas. We could be talking about damaging winds over there. But then what happens is actually there's a new low pressure that starts to form. So that outer band, what it starts to see like, and this starts to spin up into a low. This is so, bizarre what we're talking about here. We have a low pressure down south, and you think it's scoot up the East Coast. No, there's a new low pressure that starts to develop, and watch what it does. Rapidly strengthens, 999 once we get into 11 a.m. Sunday. Outer band starting to reach New Jersey. 998, 2 p.m. Very heavy rain just outside. 997, 5 p.m. 998, 997, 997, 997, 996. Dude, this is a very bad setup that we're seeing here. And, okay, 999, 997, whatever it is. If you're in the 900s, you are talking about damaging wind, slamming the coastline. And not only that, I wouldn't be concerned about this storm if we were talking about the supermoon we just had a few days ago. If you don't know what a supermoon does, it does create those king tides, which means these tides are way above normal. And even to that, you have 40 plus mile-an-hour winds sustained off the Jersey shore, which piles up that water, erodes that beach away completely, and now you're talking about potential for overwash because of that 5 to 8 feet storm surge. Now, we could be talking about damage to boardwalks, damage to property. We could be talking about damage to coastal houses. Yes, this is all possible as we are talking about major onshore flow with this thing. And, it's really weird because it looks like a hurricane or tropical storm. It's a nor'easter because it has northeast winds that are just going to start piling the water up on the Jersey Shore. Going to start eroding the beaches away because of that. And, by the time we get into, let's say, 8 p.m. Sunday, man, oh man, then it is going to get absolutely crazy over near New Jersey. We're talking 40 to 50 mile-an-hour wind gusts statewide. Probably not statewide. Probably confined to Central, South, and New York City. 40 to 50 plus mile-an-hour wind gusts. And now the shore may get 60 to 70 mile-an-hour wind gusts plus. This is a huge deal here. And not only that, you're getting just absolutely incredibly high waves. 20 feet we could be talking about on the Jersey Shore. This is just unbelievable how much height we are going to have in these waves on Sunday night. This is a huge problem. 20-foot waves. That is 3 to 4 times above what, a typical human, height average-wise is. 3 to 4 times. That is unbelievably huge. And then we're talking 2 a.m., outer bands just slam New Jersey. And then we get convection. Yes, that center will be enough that we could get convection firing up on the center. And we could have thunderstorms by the time we get into Monday morning with the worst of the impacts, with the whipping, damaging winds across the state. And then the low pressure starts to finally retrograde back where it came from, but it sticks around for a while until Monday, and then it starts to go back to the south and disappears. And that is the end of our storm. But until then, we're going to be talking about significant major impacts. If this model is correct, we will be looking at damaging winds for several hours. Even here in East Brunswick, Middlesex County, we're going to be talking about very gusty winds. Even if it's not damaging, we're going to be seeing a lot of leaves and a lot of overwash starting to occur because of the rainfall. And not only that, your leaves are going to start flying everywhere. So this is very bad. It really isn't good, Even taking a look at some of the mesoscale models, we're going to take a look at the NAM. See that low pressure? This is just some significant convection near that low. Look at that pink, purple over North Carolina. Easily could have some big-time thunderstorms. And then, I don't know if the NAM shows this, but the low pressure literally gets into Delaware, and it does something pretty weird. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but you can kind of see that initial push of rain won't be as bad. But then when we get into, let's say here towards Monday night, do you see all that convection firing up inside of southern New Jersey and DC? That's when we have the chance to be talking about a few spin-up tornadoes and some frequent lightning in some of these storms. So when you get close to that low pressure, I'm telling you, there could be some very unexpected thunderstorms when they start to develop. And those outer bands, I'm a little bit more concerned about this. If that does set up like that. HRRR, let's take a look at the HRRR as well. HRRR has that band, and it's very accurate because that is kind of happening right now. You know, you're getting these scattered rain showers, and yeah, I mean, the HRRR doesn't really show that feature, but I think the NAM might be onto something here. FV3. See, the FV3 also has that initial surge of rain, but it also has that low pressure. But look at these thunderstorms really starting to, form outside the Jersey coast by the time we get into Monday morning. These are some pretty significant thunderstorms. We probably could be talking about a lot of lightning in these storms. These could come on shore and produce landspouts or even some small tornadoes. This is certainly possible if that low pressure is put on like that. I mean, look at these storms really just starting to brew out there. So we could be talking about, a marginal risk potentially for New Jersey as we get into Monday. I would be watching this very carefully. I would be watching these, discrete cells that are, tropically characterized. These need to be watched out for because those are very powerful updrafts in that storm. So near the center of the storm was where you have convection. That's what's happening basically as you have, warm air outside of it, but then you have a cold pool of air that crashes into the middle of the storm and automatically creates a lot of convection. So yeah, I mean, this is just going to be very significant. What we're going to be talking about for tomorrow, this is just going to be very, very nasty. I do not recommend going outside at all. So, let's take a look here at the rainfall for, the European. I mean, you can just define 3.5, 4 inches, even 5 inches near the Jersey coast and central New Jersey, South Jersey. Yeah, it definitely trended a lot worse from yesterday. You know what? I'm going to go back and show you the run yesterday. I'm going to show you the 18Z run. Look at this. There's barely any rainfall in New Jersey at all. Barely any rainfall and barely any wind. This was 18Z yesterday. I was like, what the heck is a Euro doing? All of a sudden, wait, I can go even back to the 12Z here. I'll go even back to the 6Z here. It showed inches of rainfall, and all of a sudden, it backed up to a quarter of an inch. I mean, this was unbelievable how much the models have been switching up, and we just don't know what the hell is going on. And then get to 6Z, most significant rainfall I've seen in a few models. So this might be trending worse than what we thought. And I think those gusts that we were looking at earlier, we're going to take a look at windy here. Okay? Let's go to the Euro, for instance, okay? We're going to take a look at the wind gust. These wind gusts offshore, I predict this could, and I repeat, this could make it closer to New Jersey. Closer to the Jersey Shore and more damaging winds onshore. So I'm talking about this area outside of New Jersey and Long Island that is producing 70, 80 mile per hour wind gusts right inside that area. I would not be shocked if that low pressure, if it gets more west, that area of winds would be directly on top of Jersey. Talk about a split near eastern New Jersey. We would probably be dealing with just straight up damaging wind gusts, 60, 70 plus mile per hour wind gusts. This could happen. There's sometimes these situations where you have the malls backing up and all of a sudden they start unexpectedly realizing what could actually happen. We haven't had a tropical storm in a few years, so these models aren't used to it. But I'm seriously telling you, this could trend worse. And these winds off the Jersey coast and Long Island, they could certainly make it into the Jersey Shore. The European is kind of hinting at that, not as much, but I'm telling you, that eye is going to be real close. Not an eye, but the low pressure. It's going to be fairly close. And when you have like such tight gradients with the high pressure and low pressure, this is going to create an insanely gusty period. Like, not only insanely gusty, maybe even insanely damaging. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking about brutal impacts from this storm for the Jersey Shore and New Jersey in general. But, notice how northern New Jersey doesn't get impacted as much. That's probably going to be right. That's probably, pretty accurate. But I am seriously warning you on the Jersey Shore, this could trend a lot worse than what we're seeing right now. If this low pressure just goes a little bit more west into like southern New Jersey, all of those winds from the northern portion of that storm would just come crashing directly into central and southern New Jersey, producing damaging winds for at least a few to several hours. I mean, this would be horrifying. This would be absolutely chaotic, destructive, and a dangerous situation that the Jersey Shore would need to evacuate if that would happen. And unfortunately, we have to wait till the 12Z comes out. If the 12Z shows this, where the low pressure goes a little bit more to the west, then I think there may be evacuation orders along the Jersey Shore and parts of New Jersey, because it's just trending real badly. When you have this trend one day out, and when you have that, and you're seeing all of a sudden the low pressure starts to target southern New Jersey and trends westward, all of that wind from offshore of the Jersey coast might just come on and whiplash them entirely. So, I don't want to sound over dramatic here, but there is that chance that the worst case scenario could happen, and we are talking major brutal impacts from it. Nonetheless, we're talking about major wind gusts out of this. Even if we don't get the worst case scenario, we're going to have some major problems to talk about here. It's just really concerning. We're just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to wait for the matter of time. If the Euro shows this, we are in deep trouble here. Okay, let's see. The Euro. Oh, shoot. The Euro actually came out. Wait. We actually might get to see what happens here. Hold up. Okay. Oh boy. I'm not seeing I don't like what I'm seeing. Okay. See, what I was talking about is the low pressure going west. Oh my God. It's actually going west. It's literally almost touching Cape Cod. Yeah, you see that eye right there? It's not really touching Cape Cod that much. It's literally touching Cape Cod now. So shift your damaging winds 40 miles to your west, and we are talking major impacts on the Jersey Shore. 40-mile difference could mean an absolute disaster in New Jersey with damaging winds, widespread damage, widespread power outages for days, or 40 miles offshore, which wouldn't be as bad. This is a matter of miles, how this low pressure just, acts for tomorrow. Because I'm telling you right now, this could trend worse. And I don't know what the heck is going to happen. We just got to see what happens tomorrow. And I would not be as concerned on Sunday as is Sunday night and Monday. That is the most concerning time period I am forecasting this ridiculous monster to come in. So, even though it's non-tropical, this certainly has tropical characteristics. I mean, the wind is just insane from this thing. Just because of that high pressure up north, that's really just revving your winds across the East Coast. Alright guys, I'll see you guys later. I will make sure to give one last update for tonight or into tomorrow morning for the detailed impacts of this thing and how bad this could truly get. But, I mean, Jersey Shore, get ready for a very nasty, dangerous storm that will bring damaging winds to you. Alright, I'll see you guys later. I recommend Jersey Shore needs to prepare now, or even evacuate. We'll see how this trends, but I am very, very worried, okay? I'm very worried about this thing. All right, I'll see you guys later, and have a great rest of your Saturday, and as always, stay safe out there.